been an icon ever since it debuted, and it boils down to what it does and 3 letters. On this edition of Test Drive, the Volkswagen Golf GTI. Volkswagen debuted a souped-up version of its front-wheel drive Golf compact at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 1975. Thus, the GTI was born. Now comes the 7th generation model with an all-new platform. It is longer, lower, wider, 10% stiffer, and in spite of this, 23 kilograms lighter, which helps overall performance. In all else, the GTI remains very familiar, from the fender badges to the driving experience we've all come to expect from this famed ride. Up front, the GTI is all about the driver. The flat-bottom steering wheel has got a very nice chunky feel in your hand. These front seats deliver superb support. Beyond that, the layout is entirely logical. There are 2 neat things. First of all, the sound system is by Fender. Yes, the one made famous by Jimi Hendrix. The other thing has to do with the navigation system. It has a proximity sensor. Whenever you go close to the screen, all of the icons come up at the bottom. Now, the reason that's neat is the fact that the screen is too small to begin with. If all of the icons stayed up all the time, this thing would be useless. The GTI is powered by a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder that produces 210 horsepower and, more importantly, 258 pound-feet of torque at 1600 RPM. This means there's little turbo lag off the line, and it builds very strongly through the mid-range. In the end, it brings a run to 100k of 6.4 seconds, and it accomplishes the 80 to 120 passing move in 4.5 seconds. Now, both are strong times by any standard. Now, if this little lot under the hood here is not quite enough, there's always the all-wheel drive Golf R. It brings 296 horsepower, 286 pound-feet of torque to the party. In the end, it chops the run from rest to 100k to 4.9 seconds, and it does the 80 to 120 passing move in 3.9 seconds, both of which are world-class. The power is relayed to the road through a very good 6-speed twin-clutch transmission. It bumps up and down the gears with incredible speed, and it seems to know what the driver's about to do next. The power is then relayed to the front wheels and substantial 225 40R18 tyres. The neat part is that everything can be tailored to the tone of the drive. Normal is just that. Sport sharpens the throttle and steering, while individual allows the driver to pick the upgrades. Then there's the transmission sport mode. It stretches out the upshifts and brings even more urgency to the drive. Now, when you go with the GTI, you give up none of the hatchback flexibility. To begin with, 14.6 cubic feet of cargo space with the seats upright. Now, that's about 10% more than before. When you fold the seats flat, you more than double that cargo capacity. There are, however, 2 things I really did like. First of all, the ski pass-through. That means you can actually carry 4 adults and their skis in the car. The other part is right here. The backup camera sits behind the Volkswagen badge in a nice clean environment. So whenever you need it, you can actually see through it. You know, there's a lot of other manufacturers could learn a valuable lesson about keeping their lens clean. The GTI's suspension is firm, which reduces body roll, but it manages this while retaining a very nicely damped ride in the city. The variable ratio electric steering also takes a turn for the better. It has a rewarding response to input, and unlike so many electric systems, it delivers the needed feedback, which makes the communication between car and driver clean and clear. The upgraded brakes are also worth a mention. A track session saw them provide plenty of fade-free performance. Finally, there is a sport mode for the stability control system. It gives the driver much more latitude before stepping in and raining on the fun. The 7th generation Golf GTI has finally grown up. It brings bigger car comfort without actually sacrificing any of its agility or handling. In other words, it brings the engaging drive for which the GTI is famous. The bottom line, it is a better car.